Hello everyone, and welcome to our homework video as we continue trudging through personal finance, my personal favorite subject to teach. So our standard has changed for this video, and it is quite possibly the shortest, simplest, most direct standard we're ever going to have. Calculate net worth. Alright, very straightforward. What is this net worth and what do they want us to do with it? So our LEQ is very simple. How does one calculate net worth? What is net worth? And let's find out. So here is the deal. I bet you guys look at these pictures on your screen, you're like, wow, I want that. That looks great. I mean, look at that home on that left. Look at the home on the right. Look at the man in the suit, the fancy briefcase. We have a BMW and Mercedes there. That looks like an upper class family. Not middle class, an upper class family. Very wealthy. I bet he's some type of investment banker. I bet they are doing very, very well. The house on the right looks like it may be on the beach. I mean, dang. These people are doing great. I bet their net wealth is very high. These people have got to be rich. If they were to sell that house and sell those vehicles, they could retire millionaires on the spot. Let's see about that. We want to be like them, don't we? So, here's a quote that I pulled for you guys. It's from Forbes. Forbes is a magazine that basically rich people read about business and wealth building. And here's a quote. One of the most useful calculations a person can make when it comes to their personal finances is to figure out their net worth. So what is your net worth or net wealth? The terms are used interchangeably. So your net worth is what you would have in cash if you sold every significant possession and paid off all of your debts. Okay, so there's a few terms we have to get through before we go and actually look at the formula. So a term you have to be aware of is called assets. Assets is property owned by a person or company regarding as having value and available to meet debts or commitments. So when we are talking about personal finance, an asset is anything of value that you own that you can sell off and get cash for. The most common assets when we are talking about personal finance are homes, vehicles, how much money you have in your checking, your savings, your retirement accounts, how much you have in your investment accounts, things of that nature. Assets may even be things like if you have really nice furniture, you can sell a lazy boy couch for $3,000 or $4,000. You can sell your big screen TV for maybe $500. Maybe if you have a lot of suits, you can sell off your wardrobe for a few $1,000s. So assets is anything you have of value that can be sold for cash. Now, liabilities. A liability is something for which someone is responsible. And in terms of personal finance, a liability, we are talking about debts. If you have $7,000 in credit card debt, you are held liable for paying back that $7,000. If you go to college and are like most typical American college students and you take out $30,000 in student loans, you are liable by law to pay back that $30,000. It is an obligation, which we have reviewed in class. Okay, so here's the formula I want you guys to take to the grave with you. Just like I want you to save 20% of your average monthly income, I want you to know this formula. Net worth is equal to total assets, the value of stuff you possess, minus total liabilities, minus what you owe. So total assets minus total liabilities. How much cash you have if you sold everything, how much money you owe. Very simple. Let's take a look at an example. So here's the typical American family. Now, if you guys are familiar with Dave Ramsey and you've viewed some of his material, he uses a similar example to this a lot. Let's go back and take a look at our very successful looking people here. Very nice homes, very nice cars. That's the American dream, guys. Come on now, look at that. That is the American dream. That's why we work so hard and do good in school so we can have what they have. And let's see if looks can be deceiving. Things are not always as they appear. Looks can be deceiving. So here we go. Let's look at typical American family's assets. They have a very nice home. Here in Central Florida in Lakeland, a $250,000 home is a darn nice home. We're not talking like some random subdivision. $250,000 is a darn nice home. So if they were to sell their home right now, the property appraiser came and said, your home is worth $250,000. I recommend you put it on the market right now for $255,000. They can get $250,000 for it. Cool. All right, they have a BMW. They've driven the BMW for a little bit now, and if they were to turn around and sell it, they could sell it for $25,000. It's not very old. They have a Mercedes. You see them driving around, dang, BMW Mercedes, this family's doing very good. The Mercedes, they could turn around and sell it right now for $15,000. Okay, again, typical American family. they have $5,000 in their emergency fund. You know that they've saved some money. They have $5,000 in there for like vehicle repairs if their kid gets sick, something like that. Okay, $5,000, not bad. They're doing better than most people there. All right, they've been working for a while. They are investing a little bit. They are putting a little bit to retirement. They have $15,000. So this family, if they were to sell everything, they are worth $305,000. Not bad. That's over $250,000. Now keep in mind, guys, this does not include their income. Net worth does not include income. It only includes money on hand. Okay, so this person may make, $80,000 a year, and the husband or wife, the spouse may make $75,000 a year. But the net worth, the asset calculation does not include that because it's not cash on hand. Cash on hand. Okay, so $305,000. All right. What is this family's liabilities? They still owe $200,000 on their mortgage, so they've owned their home for a few years now. They've successfully paid off $50,000 of it. Good for them, but they still owe $200,000. They are liable to the bank for that $200,000. Their BMW car loan, they had to take out $55,000 to buy a BMW. BMWs are expensive. They're awesome cars, but they're expensive. They took out $45,000 for a Mercedes. Now, let's pretend that these people went to a great university. One of them has a master's degree, and they had $80,000 in student debt. Now, that is not an unreasonable number. Between two people, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife, like that's very reasonable. The average the average college student nowadays in 2014, 2015, 2016, this generation, if you will, is graduating with about $25,000 to $30,000 in student debt. So between the two of them, we're looking at like $50,000 to $60,000. If one of them have a master's degree, easily tack on another $20,000. So $80,000 in student debt. Like the typical American family, they have credit card debt of $7,000. They have a Macy's credit card, and they just can't stop shopping there. The guy loves his suits. The woman loves blinging out with accessories and jewelry. All right, so this family's total liabilities is $387,000. So this family owes the world, owes the bank, owes Macy's, owes the United States government, owes their school $387,000. Let's apply the net worth or net wealth formula. They're going to take their total assets, $305,000, and subtract it from their total liabilities, $387,000. Class, this family is in trouble. If they were to sell everything, they would still technically be bankrupt. They would still owe about $82,000. Now understand this. Most people during their lives is going to have a negative net worth. When I first graduated college, I had a negative net worth. Not nearly this much. It was only a few $1,000s that I paid off very, very quickly. So do not think that having a negative net worth is never going to happen. It does happen to most people, but when you start getting above a few $1,000s for an extended period of time, that's when you start getting into trouble. So this is a typical American family. Okay, they have the nice house, they have the nice car, they look rich on the outside, but they are very poor on the inside. Let's do the non-typical American family. Let's do the family of former students who have graduated from Mr. Jared's class, the people who listen to the teachings of Dave Ramsey, the people who take control of their finances. So here we go. This family has a home valued at $150,000. All right, cool. Again, $150,000 cost. That's a nice home, That's a nice suburban home. It may not be 2 stories and made of brick and be on the beach or be on the lake, but it's a nice home. All right, cool. They have a Ford F-150, not a Mercedes or BMW. It's used, it's not brand new. They've had it for maybe 10 years or so. If they were to sell it, it'd be valued, not 10 years, but maybe 5 years. It'd be valued at $8,000. They have a Toyota Camry, valued at $9,000. They are saving money a lot, valued at $15,000. And they are investing a decent amount, not a lot, but they're investing a decent amount in their retirement or savings. $25,000. So this family's total assets is at $207,000. Now, if you'll notice in the prior example, this family, this typical American family, their assets are much higher. They have $305,000. This family is has assets of $100,000 less than the first family. Keep that in mind. Their liabilities. So this family has paid $100,000 off. They still owe $50,000 on their mortgage, so they're liable for $50,000. The vehicle, the F-150, again, they've had it for 5-6 years. They didn't buy brand new. It's paid off. They still owe $1,000 in Toyota Camry. They had to buy a second vehicle. They have no credit card debt. And like most Americans, let's not be naive here, okay? That maybe they had to take out, between the two of them, they had to take out $20,000 in student loans between the two of them. So their total liabilities is at $71,000. Now here's the difference. This family's net worth is positive $136,000. Instead of being negative $82,000, this family's net worth is positive $136,000. So when it comes down to it, class, this family is more wealthy than the prior family, the American Dream family, the big house, BMW, Mercedes, Ferrari family. This family right here, this modest American family, is more value, is more wealthy, has more money than the family that most of us want to be, the big house, nice cars. Okay, so total assets is essentially how much cash you would have if you sold all of your valuable possessions. Here's what I want you guys to do right now. I want you to, if you're in your room, look around. If you're not in your room, I want you to imagine your room. I want you to think of what you possess that has monetary value. That is, if you were to sell all of your possessions, this is going to be a rough estimate, I understand that, about how much do you think you'd get for it? If your parents would allow you, or if you own the furniture in your room, furniture can be sold for several $100s sometimes. What about electronics? You can sell an Xbox One, you can sell that TV. You can sell that computer or that phone you're watching this video on right now. How much money do you have in your checking or savings account? I'd like you guys to come to class tomorrow with that number. Don't worry about liabilities, just what are your total assets. Now, I'm not asking what is your net worth, what is your total assets. Let's figure out how much money you are worth according to the financial institutions. Alrighty, LEQ in review. How do you calculate net worth? It's a formula. Total assets minus total liabilities. And that is that.